We as a society have a pain, have a cancer growing among us. And that cancer is mass incarceration, mass detention, mass criminalization.
Today, more than 20 people protested to eliminate the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency known as ICE. One protester says residents and politicians are responsible for allowing ICE to detain innocent juvenile immigrants.
So our local elected officials here in Harrisonburg, starting with city council members, the 5 of them, Richard Baugh, Chris Jones, Major Dina Reed, Ted Bird, George Hirschman, they've all allocated money for detention centers, for youth, and they've all allocated money to continue expanding incarceration. And the pressure from our society is not only to come here and shame this agency, but it's also to go to them and say, we don't want this thing growing among us anymore.
The rally was held at the Harrisonburg's ICE office on Neff Avenue. That's where simultaneously nearly 10 additional protesters lined the street waving banners and signs.
We're being told in this country that Hispanics are taking away our jobs. Donald Trump has called immigrants an infestation. An infestation sounds very much like vermin. He suggested during the campaign that the Mexicans were rapists. This rhetoric is all too reminiscent of what happened to my family, which virtually no longer exists because they were wiped out during World War II. And we're not there yet, but we're on our way there because of the rhetoric, because of the hatred, because of the vilification of immigrants.
Ellen Werther says she's showing her support for immigrants by telling her family's story.
Hitler did not begin by creating concentration camps in Dachau. He began by vilifying a group of people, my family. He began by calling them vermin. Trump is using terms like infestation. He began by accusing Jews of causing economic hardship to quote-unquote real Germans. Trump is saying that Hispanics are causing economic hardship to quote-unquote real Americans.
More than 2,000 detained immigrant children remain behind bars. Chad Trevitt lives just blocks from the ICE office, but says he never knew anything about the building.
I found out that it was connected.
That wasn't all he found out. Trevitt says he also learned ICE agents were transporting immigrant children to a local juvenile detention facility.
The Shenandoah Valley Juvenile Detention Center nearby. When I learned about the abuses at this center, when I learned about the horrible treatment that the inmates were subjected to, and when I connected this to the nauseating stories that I've been hearing about the treatment of immigrant children in this country, I felt like I had to come here.
A large majority of the children who have been separated from their parents are being detained in Texas. One protester says what's going on in Texas at a former Walmart store is immoral.
That has to stop. But we need to keep fighting because, as the compañero said earlier, we go on about our lives because we feel like it doesn't have an immediate effect on our lives. However, in the long run, it does. As Helen just said, I see this issue, I see this problem as just the beginning of something much bigger, and something that in effect it is already happening to US-born citizens of Latin American descent, such as myself.
Teresa Kubasak of Harrisonburg says she supports people who are fleeing their countries seeking asylum.
I know that on our Statue of Liberty, give me you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry, those yearning to be free, I'm opening my arms. I'm saying come to Harrisonburg. We're here for you. Having ICE here in Harrisonburg or anywhere in our country, that's a shame for the whole Statue of Liberty. She would be crying right now.
Gabe Huck says He too had no idea ICE had an office in Harrisonburg. He says ICE is a danger to the country. The ICE agency falls under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security.
I say that because since 9/11, the effort to make people afraid, a government effort to make all of us afraid, has only grown and grown and grown. It was there immediately, which makes you wonder, but it's grown. And now it's turned to immigrants, it's turned on countries all over the world where our military are present in one form or another. And it's right here in people's hearts. I just like to remind people of Franklin Roosevelt's, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And here we are, afraid.
In Harrisonburg, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.